Fox 4 has been a place, Max Morgan generally the reporter, where football recruits share the college commitments they've decided to make. We've carried these oftentimes live on the air. Two of these young men who died chose their schools with you, Max, January 2012, and then again this year, January 2013. You told me they were great young men, and I saw this affect you. Let's look at Polo. He was first in 2012, made his commitment. Let's take a look at that.
Look at that and toss one of them out. All right. Utah is gone, so we're down to Baylor, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. You know, Polo, it's a tradition at Euless Trinity High School. You do the haka before the
I'm going to go to SEC.
There we go. Texas A&M, 25.
Utah was in the mix. That's where his buddy ended up going, but he went with A&M. Max, tell me about that night, the family. We've heard a lot about the family, just the feelings there, what you remember about Polo.
Well, Steve, I remember that he was a very nice guy. He's a big guy.
Really big guy.
Yeah, I mean, a real big guy, because I remember saying, what are you, about 245? He says, no, keep going up. I said, 250? No, he says, keep going up. He's like 270 pounds, but nice guy. Whole family there, and that's the one thing that they do. You know, the Tongan community, very close-knit group, and both of those individuals wanted their family to be there, and they turned out in full force.
Okay, so January 2013, this year, KO commits, and he goes the way of the throne hat by Polo. Check this out.
So where are you going?
This is it right here.
All right, he's got Utah on his hat.
He was he homecoming king or something? That he used his crown for the Utah crown?
Yeah, he was homecoming king. And I remember saying, hey, you know, going over with him what we were going to do. I said, hey, we're going to have these hats out here. You toss them around, throw them out, and then until you get to the final one. He says, okay, but he says, I got a surprise for you. I said, well, he said, you got to wait and see it. So that was a surprise. He had the crown on it. It did say Utah on the side of it.
Utah insignia there. And that's his niece on his lap?
That's his little sister on his lap. Yeah,
that's great.
She's a sweetheart, and you see the crowd behind them, all family and friends, and they're so nice. They let us into their home. We got to interview family members and friends, and just everybody there.
All right. Now you mentioned the haka. I've seen that. You know, they went to university. He was going to the University of Utah. I've seen it at BYU and Utah. Both teams do that because of the big Polynesian contingents. We have a little video of that I know Euless does this before the games, right?
Yes, they do.
Trinity. Euless Trinity, so we got video of that. Polynesian culture thing there, and they've got such a big Polynesian contingent at Trinity, besides just an awesome football tradition at that high school too.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the haka is, we got a chance to get a couple of Polo's relatives up to do the haka for us.
Oh, that night?
On the night that he made the announcement. They were a little shy there. We had to get them going, but they finally did just part of it, because it's a dance that you really can't do. They tried to teach me one time, and I didn't have enough rhythm for it. But they do that before each game, and it's quite intimidating to the other team if you don't know they're going to do that.
I think you got to have 5 pads on to make that happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I know this has affected you, because I mean, we all like good people and good family, and these are good people.
Yeah.
And it's really affected the community too.
Yeah, and it has affected me. And I remember when I first got information about what had happened, and it was really, I was at a situation where I said, I can't believe this. In fact, I was looking at one of the preseason football magazines, and I looked up to see if Polo, because he redshirted last year, and I was looking to see if he was going to play, and he was a backup nose tackle, projected to be 6'5" and 270. I remember saying, Polo, you got to beef up a little bit more if you're going to play that position in the Southeastern Conference. Yes.
Yeah. So what was he projected for this year?
Polo?
Was he maybe going to get some playing time?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was just saying he was a backup nose tackle.
Right.
So for Texas A&M, and this is just his red shirt freshman year. But yeah, he was heavily recruited, Steve.
Yes,
I think he
4-star. You said?
Yeah, 4-star, and originally committed with the University of Miami, decommitted, and then that's when everybody else got on him, including Texas A&M.
All right, and both Well, all three of these guys are major college football players. So, I mean, this is a four-star, but they're all great football players from that Trinity system. I guess they were all heavily recruited, right?
Yeah, they're all heavily recruited, and this goes on a lot when you're talking about Euless Trinity players because they've had such a great tradition. They've won state championships before, and there's so many college coaches around there. When you go down to say you want to interview the head football coach at the high school, a lot of times you got to wait because there are college coaches in there trying to recruit their players.
All right. Good kids doing something good, just driving home.
Yeah, I feel bad.
One of them
I
trying
feel
maybe
bad for them.
surprising the parents coming home. Anyway, it's bad. So we'll talk more about this during sports. Max Morgan.
Okay.
Thanks.